That day the air on the set of Fated Hearts was light and sunny. We had just finished shooting in a large garden full of white roses, a place that is now a favorite of the entire crew, especially since it was where some of the most romantic scenes between Chen Zheyuan and Li Qin were filmed. I still remember, just 2 days ago we saw the two of them make everyone melt with the scene of falling into an embrace. But today, the atmosphere is a little different. There is no cut and action from the director. There is only laughter, jokes, and casual interview sessions that seem to turn the set into a warm chat room of two old friends. Okay, let's start the interview, the producer says, gesturing to the cameraman. Chen Zheyuan sat on the right side of the sofa, while Li Qin was on the left. Between them was a small table with 2 glasses of dried flower tea. From my spot behind the monitor, I could clearly see how both looked relaxed. Li Qin styled his hair for a while, then smiled at Zheyuan, who looked back at him with a witty expression. The first question came lightly. You two are known to have incredible chemistry at Fated Hearts. What's the secret? Li Qin chuckled, looked at the camera, then replied, the secret. Maybe it was because he, pointing at Chen Zheyuan, was always trying to make the atmosphere so pleasant. So I never feel tense during filming. Zheyuan immediately pretended to be surprised. Fun. I guess I pissed you off for repeating dialogue so many times. Li Qin replied quickly, with a seductive smile. That too. But sometimes it can be fun, right? The entire crew laughed. I had to stop listening to it on the mic. From the way they talk, it feels like you're watching two people who are completely comfortable with each other, no distance, no pretense. After a few formal questions, the atmosphere became more fluid. Journalists began to tease them with idle questions. If you were asked to rate your chemistry on a scale of 1 to 10, what would it be? Li Qin replied first while thoughtfully pretending to be serious. I'll give you 9.5. Chen Zheyuan looked at him directly, pretending to be offended. 9.5? Why not 10? Li Qin smiled broadly. Half for later. Let your spirit fix the next romantic scene. A big laugh broke out. Even the director sitting behind us chuckled. Zheyuan replied with a dramatic expression. All right, I'll make sure the next scene is sweet enough to get an 11 out of 10. Funnily enough, Li Qin spontaneously patted him on the shoulder while saying, then, don't make me laugh in the middle of the scene. It was not an empty joke. In recent days, it had become an open secret on the set that Li Qin often couldn't help but laugh whenever Zheyuan improvised too funny. Even in one take, the director went so far as to say, Zheyuan, are you an actor or a comedian? When the mood of laughter began to subside, the interviewer asked in a soft tone, if you had to describe each other in one word, what would it be? This question made both of them think for a moment. Chen Zheyuan looked at Li Qin, then said, warm. He explained, because every time I work with Li Qin, the atmosphere is comfortable. He has an aura of calm that is contagious. I often get too excited on location, but he can balance things out. Li Qin looked a little stunned to hear it. Then, with a soft tone, he replied, if I am, the suitable word for Zheyuan is sincere. He's not the kind of actor who pretends. Every time he laughed, it was really because he was happy. Every time he was serious, it was because he wanted the result to be good. I like people like that. The room immediately fell silent for a few seconds, not because it was awkward, but because of the warmth that suddenly filled the air. I saw some of the crew looking at each other with a smile. No one expected that, behind their constant jokes, a deep sense of mutual respect was stored. Chen Zheyuan then looked at the camera while joking. So if there are rumors that our chemistry is too strong, don't blame us. It wasn't because of the script, but because we were trying to be honest. Li Qin chimed in quickly, but don't get me wrong either, huh? He said with a laugh. Zheyuan lowered his head, pretending to be embarrassed. I'm afraid I misunderstood it. It's just that I experienced it myself. Laughter exploded again. The interviewer patted his knees in amusement. The interview session continued with some light questions about their characters in the drama. As Li Qin explained his gentle but strong female character, Zheyuan suddenly interrupted. Actually, the character is not much different from Li Qin in the real world. Li Qin immediately looked at him with a pretended annoyed expression. Did you just say I'm soft or strong? Zheyuan replied quickly. Both. When you're angry, you're stronger. The crew behind the camera could hardly help but laugh. Li Qin patted him on the arm and said, I'll reply at the next flower war scene. They laughed together, and the atmosphere was really infectious. Even journalists who usually keep the formalities dissolve in the fun. At the end of the interview, the interviewer asks, what was the most memorable moment you guys had together during the filming of Fated Hearts? Chen Zheyuan replied with a thoughtful expression. Maybe when the two of us were filming in the Garden of the Knights. The air was very cold, but Li Qin was still in good spirits. She was shivering, so I offered her my jacket. Li Qin immediately interrupted quickly. But you forgot that you yourself are also cold. Zheyuan laughed. Yes, I only came to my senses after 5 minutes. But it's okay, for the sake of maintaining chemistry, I'm willing to shiver together. All laughed. But after the laughter died down, Li Qin added in a gentle tone. The most memorable thing for me was how Zheyuan always made sure the shooting was fun. I think chemistry isn't just about romantic scenes. It's about how two people can make long days feel lighter. That speech made everyone silent for a moment. Chen Zheyuan looked at him, and this time without joking he said, I guess that's the reason why I enjoy this project so much. As soon as the interview was over, the director applauded. Very good. You two really know how to make everyone smile, he said. Li Qin and Chen Zheyuan bowed politely to each other, but still smiled towards each other. When the camera was turned off, they still had time to joke with each other. I'm serious about 10, you know, Zheyuan said. Li Qin chuckled a little. Then, prove it in the next scene. Watch out, I'm proving it in a way that makes you blush. Li Qin looked at him as he chuckled. Was it a threat or a promise, Master Chen? The crew all laughed again. And at that moment it dawned on me. Their chemistry was not just the result of practice, but a reflection of the warmth that grew naturally. From behind the camera, I could feel one thing that was not written in the script. The two understood each other without having to say much. In every laugh, in every little joke, there is a real mutual respect. The interview of the day was not just about the promotion of the play. It was like a small window into how two great actors can cultivate a genuine connection, one that makes the story on screen feel alive, and makes us all behind the scenes smile incessantly. And I think if their chemistry can be captured that beautifully even when the camera isn't rolling, then Fated Hearts is not only a drama, but also a mirror of the hearts of two people who are completely aligned in laughter and warmth.